What up, my fans, and welcome back to the MMA channel with me, Marisol. As we all already are very well aware, and even under quarantine ourselves, everything is basically shut down and being canceled. And this is definitely true for everything MMA and UFC. So as we already know, it has affected UFC Brasilia, which was done without any fans whatsoever. And then now every single event leading up to UFC 249, Khabib versus Tony, has been postponed, which leaves us with sort of this cloud of anxiety hanging over our heads as UFC and MMA fans, asking as to whether or not Khabib versus Tony is going to be postponed or if it will actually truly take place on April 18th. And if not, should this fight be rescheduled? So let's go ahead and get into it. As we all know, the coronavirus is highly affecting the United States and even abroad, where events are being canceled. People are staying indoors, effectively self-isolating and quarantining themselves if they're not ill already. And as we all know, as you may have heard, New York State has banned gatherings of 500 people or more, which will affect Tony Ferguson versus Khabib. And then we also have the Nevada State Athletic Commission, which has banned all combat sports until March 25th. And then they will be meeting a bit prior to assess the situation to see if it should be prolonged. And given the current circumstances, I think it will be. And similarly, we have California, who has, as of this Thursday evening, completely shut everything down. People are highly advised to stay within their homes and only leave for absolutely necessary reasons, such as going to work or going grocery shopping. Other than that, it is highly advised to stay home. And on top of that, the California State Athletic Commission has also banned all combat sports until the end of March, though I think given the current situation, that is going to be prolonged as well. So we have all of this going on, but we still have Dana White telling all the fans and telling media outlets that Khabib versus Tony is still going to take place. He has also mentioned that it will most likely also take place outside of the country. So, two things, if that is actually going to be the case. One, when we look at the coronavirus and the impact it has had on various countries around the world, we see Latin America as being a region of the globe that hasn't been as highly affected. There are still a good number of countries within Latin America that have less than 100 cases. So it would seem like the wise choice, potentially, given that, to have it in a Latin American country. Additionally, both Khabib and Tony Ferguson are also still training, and they're both in California. So again, if we're going to take that into consideration, and given the last-minute nature of all of this, it would make the most sense to have it in a Latin American country where the time zone isn't going to be so drastically different, and that wouldn't potentially affect their performances. However, there is another rising situation where flights are being canceled, countries are being shut down, borders are being closed, and if that is the case, then if somebody flies out, if Tony and Khabib and their teams fly out and then get stuck in a Latin American country, I think that is just uncalled for. I don't think that would be the wise choice given that, and I don't think it would be fair to them. It wouldn't be fair to their families, although Khabib's family is in Russia, so it's already a difficult situation for them in that regard, as he is in California training. But ultimately, for Tony's family and the other fighters, it wouldn't be fair to their families for them to be stuck in another country on a different continent. So ultimately, will the fight be taking place in another country? I don't even think that that's highly likely, although it is something that has been proposed by Dana White. He has been very adamant that this fight will still take place. Most recently, he did an IG live with Kamaru Usman where he reiterated that this will take place and then emphasized it by saying that the UFC MMA is going to be the first sport back on television once this is all said and done and blown over, which, given the nature of MMA, it happens pretty much every weekend. That makes sense versus other sports that have different seasons. However, the main thing we all want to know about is Khabib versus Tony. And it just doesn't seem likely like it will actually happen on its scheduled date of April 18th. The only other thing that I could possibly think about is it as being a potential option is if it were to take place on a reservation. And then again, even then, I think if that were to be the case, it should still be in a closed arena, just the essential people, just the fighters, their corner, and essential staff. That's it. No fans, no one extraneous. And even if that is deemed to be safe and what have you, then cool. then we can see it. Everybody's going to do it on pay-per-view, and then it'll be awesome, and we'll finally have this fight that seems to be so cursed that it will never take place. But even if that is deemed to be unsafe and unwise for people to do, at this point, like, just reschedule it. It's my opinion, if it's unwise to even do it in that type of situation, to just reschedule it. But I think at this point, having it on a reservation is probably the only option, which is a bit of an homage to the early days of MMA. But at this point, to be completely frank, I'm doubtful as to whether or not it'll even happen, although there is a part of me that is hoping, because just like all of you out there, I have been dying to see this fight. And if you've seen any of my previous videos, this fight's nerve-wracking, because I am nervous for Khabib. This is like the first time in a long time he's actually going to be challenged. Like, I need to see this fight, just like all of you. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think it should just be postponed and rescheduled for later this year? Because even if it is rescheduled, it's not going to take place until like early fall because of Ramadan. So let me know what you guys think. Should it be rescheduled? Should it just happen on a reservation, closed arena, closed stadium? Let me know. Also, I am thinking of doing a Q&A, so if you have any questions for me, either about me or about MMA, put them in the comments down below as well, and I'll be happy to answer them. As always, guys, don't forget to like this video and to subscribe for more content. I'll be seeing you in the next one.